November 13, 2022. A quiet college town in Moscow, Idaho, was about to wake up to a nightmare. Inside a three-story house on King Road, four bright and promising university students were brutally murdered while they slept. What happened that night? Who could commit such a violent act, and why? And perhaps the most chilling question of all, what if the killer was someone hiding in plain sight, a man obsessed with the very psychology of murder? Tonight, we dive deep into the Idaho College Murders, and the story of the man accused of carrying them out, Bryan Kohberger. To understand this case, we must first remember the victims. Kaylee Goncalves, 21 years old. Bright, ambitious, with a contagious laugh and dreams of working in tech. Madison Mogen, also 21. Kaylee's lifelong best friend, inseparable since childhood. They were like sisters, always seen together. Xana Kernodle, 20. Fun-loving, caring, and deeply loved by her friends. And Ethan Chapin, also 20. Xana's boyfriend, an athletic, kind-hearted student who came from a close family. Four young lives, filled with promise, suddenly extinguished in one night. Paint their last night alive. Kaylee and Madison spent the evening at a local bar, returning home around 2 a.m. Xana and Ethan had been at a party, arriving back at the house around 1:45 a.m. The King Road residence was a typical off-campus student house, known for gatherings and filled with energy. That night, two other roommates were also inside, both survived. It seemed like just another Saturday night. Parties, friends, laughter. But as they returned home, none of them could have imagined that someone was already watching. The next morning, November 13th. The King Road house was eerily quiet. One of the surviving roommates awoke and noticed strange things. A locked door. Unanswered texts. And then, something far more terrifying. Just before noon, a call was made to 911. The words were chilling, unconscious person. But when police arrived, what they found was far more horrifying. Four students brutally stabbed to death. No signs of forced entry. No weapon recovered. A crime scene so shocking, seasoned investigators struggled to process it. Word spread quickly across Moscow. A town of just 25,000, shaken to its core. Parents rushed to pull their children out of campus. Fear spread like wildfire. Who could do this, and why? Detectives faced a nightmare investigation. A house full of DNA, fingerprints, and the chaos of a college residence. Thousands of leads, and just as many dead ends. But slowly, patterns began to emerge. Clue number 1, DNA. A knife sheath found near one of the victims carried male DNA. Clue number 2, surveillance footage. A white Hyundai Elantra was spotted near the crime scene multiple times that night. Clue number 3, cell phone pings. Phone records revealed a device moving suspiciously near the victim's house, over and over, weeks before the murders. Piece by piece, detectives assembled the puzzle. The white car. The phone records. The DNA. All signs began pointing to one man. A man who, at first glance, seemed unlikely. Bryan Christopher Kohberger. 28 years old. A criminology PhD student at Washington State University, just across the border from Idaho. Tall, quiet, socially awkward. He taught classes, studied criminal psychology, and seemed obsessed with the minds of killers. But could this graduate student really be responsible for 4 brutal murders? Former classmates described him as controlling, arrogant, but intelligent. Students recalled his unsettling behavior in class, where he often steered discussions toward the mind of the killer. He reportedly posted research online, asking criminals about their emotions during crimes. Was Bryan Kohberger studying crime, or rehearsing it? On December 30, 2022, after weeks of surveillance, FBI agents and state police moved in on Bryan Kohberger's family home in Pennsylvania. In the early hours of the morning, neighbors awoke to flashing lights and the sound of tactical teams surrounding the property. He was taken into custody without incident. DNA from his trash matched the DNA on the knife sheath. His Hyundai Elantra was seized. In court, Kohberger showed little emotion. The trial, however, has dragged on. Delays, legal maneuvers, and speculation continue to dominate headlines. And questions remain. What was his motive? Why these victims? And was he acting alone? Today, the King Road house where the murders occurred has been demolished. A physical scar removed from Moscow, Idaho, but the emotional scars remain. Families still grieve. Friends still search for answers. And a community waits for justice. Reflect on the tragedy: young lives lost, futures stolen. The broader impact: safety concerns on campuses, discussions about violence in America. For students. For futures that will never be lived. And one man, accused of destroying them all. As the trial moves forward, the world continues to ask, what really happened inside that house? And why? Until those answers come, the Idaho College murders will remain one of the darkest cases of our time.